Hey YouTube, it's your boy King Alchemist, coming at you today with a video that's a personal journal entry. And, excuse me, this is my first personal journal entry, and it's about feeling loneliness, or just feeling left out, or abandoned, or neglected, or forgotten. And for all of 2019 so far, I've been going through a depression, and it's getting worse to the point to where I'm damn near having suicidal thoughts. And a lot of it started yesterday. The night before last, we found out that, the night before last, a cousin of ours passed away in a car accident, and we found out yesterday afternoon. And there was events that had happened that led to me feeling left out and not included, or pretty much not part of the family. And it kind of made my cousin, the cousin I live with, that I'm roommates with, it kind of made her and I have we didn't necessarily have an argument. It wasn't necessarily a debate either. It was more like a heated conversation. And it was more heated on my end because I found myself getting very flustered and frustrated because I felt like what I was saying was falling on deaf ears, or like no matter how much I try to explain where I'm coming from with it, it's like I felt like it wasn't going to be understood. And I found myself getting frustrated. And it was just pretty much to a point to where it's like the whole topic of like feeling left out came up because there were certain events leading up to our cousin's death that happened, and I wasn't a part of it, and it made me feel some type of way. Like I took it a little personal. And it was basically a balloon release at the site where he got into the car accident. And I didn't know about it until hours after the fact from a cousin's Facebook Live that was there. And it made me feel some type of way because it's like, okay, that's like the family's way of saying their final goodbyes to him. And I wasn't there, I wasn't invited, like nobody told me about it. So it's like I felt kind of deprived of me getting my final goodbye. And I at least wanted to be there to support my other cousins, which is his mom, his sister, and his little brother, because I know they're going through it. Like, so I at least wanted, to be there to show my support, show my love and my support. And I don't want my family members to thinking like I don't give a fuck because I didn't show or I wasn't there. And that's another reason why I took it a little personal, because it's like when something like that happens, like you need all the people around you that can surround you in love and support when you're going through a loss. So I kind of took that personal because I don't want my family to think that I don't give a fuck, or I'm being insensitive to the topic, or like, damn, your cousin just died and you couldn't even show face, like you couldn't even, like we ain't seen you, we ain't heard from you, like you know how some people be. So it's kind of like I kind of took it there mentally, and I was trying to explain like how it made me feel left out. And my cousin said like it seemed like I was trying to make it about me. And that's the part where I started to get frustrated, because like I'm not trying to make it about me, I'm just saying it's the principle. And it's not just with the situation where our cousin passed away. It's like everything that goes on in the family, whether it's baby shower, wedding, death, family get together, whatever. It's just like I feel like I'm always one of the last people to find out about anything that's going on with people. Like, shit. Surprisingly, I didn't even know half of the people in my family that had kids was even pregnant with kids until after the fucking baby was born, after the baby was about to be due. And it's like, well, damn, like, you didn't let me know you was having a baby. Like, but everybody else found out. Like, I don't find out until you throwing your baby shower. Yeah, wasn't even invited to. And it's like, well, damn, I didn't know you was pregnant. But like, damn, cuz, I didn't know you was having a baby. Like, and now I'm starting to feel left out. Like, why didn't you tell me? Like, why couldn't I be part of the celebration? Like, am I considered family to you? Because everybody else is there. Why am I not there? And that's kind of like where I was coming from with it. And through that heated conversation her and I was having, like, I realized that there was a lot about me that I was internalizing throughout my whole life, because I always felt like no one was there. Like, I always felt that I was alone, because I grew up in a house with just me, my mom, and my sister, and I I didn't have that type of mom that I could just go to her and tell her anything. My mom had a temper, and my mom was a big disciplinarian. My mom used to beat me and my sister's ass, like, beat our asses, to the point to where it made me a very timid person as a kid. And not only did I suffer physical abuse from my mom, but I also suffered physical abuse from my sister, because my sister has always been a tomboy, and since the day she's a stud lesbian, but she's always been boyish. So even though she's my older sister, in a lot of regards, I look at her as my older brother. And it was like she was kind of the one that gave me that tough love that that I guess a father figure was supposed to give, or a big brother figure was supposed to give. She had to give it to me, but it became to a point to where it was just fucking abuse, to the point to where I didn't feel like I could come to them and talk to them about anything, because I didn't know if I was going to get hit for saying what I would say or feeling the way I would feel. And so it made me afraid a lot. And I kept a lot of things inside. It made me internalize everything from that point on. To the point to where it's still a lot of things that's going on with me, even to this day, that my mom has no idea about. And probably won't ever know about. Unless I end up talking about it in probably one of these videos and she ends up seeing it. But back on topic, we, in our heated conversation, like, I was just saying how it just made me feel left out. It made me feel like I wasn't included. It made me feel like I wasn't part of the family. It made me feel like, I didn't exist. Like, I felt ignored. Like, I felt like I didn't exist to them. And it's like, it stemmed, that was the catalyst to a lot of my bottled up emotions surfacing. And that's why this video is about loneliness and feeling neglected or forgotten or whatever in between. I will start off by saying this. There's been many situations with my family to where I felt left out, abandoned, didn't feel part of the family, feel ignored, whatever. But the parts that get me the most, and I'm gonna save the bulk of this topic right here for another video, because it can be a video all on its own. But I want to open up to you guys for a moment and tell you guys that I'm living with HIV. And with that comes a lot of emotions, a lot of depression, a lot of thoughts, a lot of opinions. Um, but since I've been diagnosed and living with HIV, it in a way made me feel alone, empty, unloved, unwanted, uh, compromised, contaminated. Um, just overall, just not nothing good. And the reason I have a big issue with feeling alone and lonely and forgotten, mainly forgotten, is because, and my girl Blanca in Pose said it best, and that scene just resonated with me because I completely understood where she was coming from when she said this, because I feel the same way. When she found out that she was HIV positive and she wanted to start her own house, she was talking to her house mother, saying, telling her like, I want to start my own house, but I want your blessing. And her house mother didn't understand, like, why would you want to leave my house to start your own house? And she said, to leave something behind, proof that I was here. And the reason that resonates with me so much is because I literally feel like my life is being erased before my eyes. Like, if I was to bring somebody to my hometown, I can't really show them where I grew up. I can't really show them what schools I went to. There's no childhood pictures of me. All that was gone. All that's been lost. So it's like I feel as though my entire childhood has been erased in a way, or just wiped away, like like waves, like just gone. And I sit back in my hometown, I just look like there's nothing that I can show anyone that's not from here or that's here visiting or a friend of mine to show them my physical life. Like, this is where I grew up, this is where I spent my time, this is where I used to hang out, this is where I went to school. Everything is pretty much gone. Everything is torn down. Everything been now is either an empty field or something else is standing in its place. And all I have to show is a whole bunch of empty fields in brand new buildings where something once stood. And that's just on the physical part of feeling like alone and forgotten. And it kind of plays into me kind of feeling like my identity is being wiped away. And it's almost like feeling like, damn, like, it's almost feeling like I never existed. Like, I feel like my existence is literally being wiped away with these memories or with these buildings or with these places. And even with my childhood, like, when me and my mom moved to Alabama, we lost all of our stuff in the storage unit. That got auctioned off, so all my pictures from childhood, gone. Like, I literally only have one baby picture, and that was when I was in the hospital, like, a newborn. And me and my mom, we still fight over that picture to this day, and she's just not getting it, but me and her still fight over that one picture to this day, and that's the only picture of my childhood I have left. And that's probably why I hold on to it so dear, because I feel like without it, I have no childhood. Like, I have no physical, concrete evidence of a childhood other than my memories. And with living with HIV at times, and with also battling with depression, I get my days to where it just literally feels like I'm just slowly dying. And it makes me start to reflect and think about life. And those are the things I think about. Like, what am I leaving behind? Like, what evidence do I have to say that I was here? That I existed? And even with dealing with this whole process of living with HIV when it comes to treatment and going to my doctors and things like that. And not only am I dealing with HIV, but I'm dealing with cancer, dealing with sickle cell, dealing with arthritis, dealing with anxiety, dealing with depression. Like, there's a lot health-wise that I'm dealing with. And it can become overwhelming. But with all these doctor's appointments and doctor's visits and getting labs done, blood drawn, operation here, surgery there, it's like I have no support system at all. And I noticed these few years, like, I've been doing everything on my own. And I've been alone with everything. Like, I don't have that person that can remind me, oh, did you take your meds today? I don't have that person to go to a doctor's appointment with me and ask the doctor questions. I don't have that person with me to hold my hand right before I go into a major operation, not knowing if I'm going to come back out alive. Like, and that's a lonely feeling, to have to handle everything on your own and feel like no one is there to help you or support you in the time where you need it the most. But your support is expected from everyone. And it's not just health wise, like, even thinking back to the earliest forms of my childhood, like, I've always felt alone. I always felt ignored. I always felt overlooked. I always felt left out because I was never that child that was able to talk to anyone. I didn't even get my first best friend until I got in high school. I was literally that kid in elementary and middle school that was considered weird, or, oh, he's too quiet, that means he's crazy, or, oh, we gotta watch him, he's gonna bring a gun to school and shoot the motherfucker up. That's what people literally used to think about me. Because I didn't talk, I didn't open up, I wasn't social. I didn't know how to be social. And I got bullied. Up until a point to where I got so frustrated and I internalized everything so much, mainly around that time when I was in school with anger, that by the time I got in high school, I started lashing out. And it got to a point to where I had to control that. And to the point to where I started internalizing everything once again. And this past 24 hours, everything started to kind of resurface. Like, all of my emotions, from anger and resentment to a lot of my hurt and pain that I endured throughout my life. Just a lot. Like, it all came surfacing all at the same time. And it was very emotional, and it was a lot, and it sent my depression through the roof. And I'm just here to really just basically just vent, really. I mean, this video doesn't really have to be too, too serious, but I just want to vent because my cousin asked me, after I opened up to her in the heated conversation her and I was having, and she asked me, like, "Cuz, do you think you need therapy?" And honestly, I think I do, but I feel like this is therapeutic for me right now, just talking about it, because I'm not used to opening up too much in talking about things, mainly my past. And in these personal journal entries, there's going to be certain people that's going to be talked about. There's going to be some people that's going to be mad at me after I make these videos, but at the end of the day, I can't too much worry about that. So, right now, I can just talk about how things made me feel lonely or left out and abandoned. So, here we go. A few years back, my dad had a 50th birthday bash. Him and his twin sister, which is my Aunt Deanna. They had a 50th birthday bash at a club here called Deja Vu. I was in New York at the time. And every year, I wish my dad and my aunt a happy birthday on Facebook. I make a status every single year. And that year, I think it was 2016, November 21st came around. I'd like to wish my dad and my Aunt Deanna, happy 50th birthday. Big 50. Nobody liked it. Nobody commented on it. Nobody shared it. I didn't even get a thank you from nobody. Not my dad, not my aunt, nobody. It's like I never even fucking said it. It was completely overlooked and ignored. And later on that day, I see they're at a club called Deja Vu, having a 50th birthday bash. But my entire dad's side of the family was there. Even a lot of my siblings that live out of state, that lived in Tennessee and Georgia and Florida and other places. Mind you, at the time I was in New York. But all of my siblings were there. I have 16 siblings on my dad's side. All of my siblings were there. And I'm my dad's oldest son. Everyone was there but me. And it made me feel some type of way. Because here I am, sitting here telling y'all happy birthday on Facebook. And I can't even get something as simple as a damn thank you. But y'all sitting here in the club doing a fucking mannequin challenge. And everybody's there and I didn't even get an invite. So it made me feel left out. It made me feel like I wasn't part of the family. It made me feel like the damn stepchild, the black sheep. It made me feel forgotten, neglected. It made me feel unimportant. It made me feel like nobody cared. It made me feel like I didn't exist. And it happened, and that situation like that has happened many times throughout my family. Like, there be certain events that's going on, and I'm the last one to find out about things, and I don't know why. And what people think I'm being selfish or I'm making things about me when I take things personal and I tell somebody, well, that made me feel some type of way. This is how it made me feel. And it's like, it's almost to a point where it's like, damn near invalidating my experience because they're trying to make it seem like I'm coming from a selfish place. When I'm not trying to come from a selfish place, I can't help how I fucking feel. Like, I just can't. And with feeling lonely and feeling neglected and abandoned, like, I remember it's a lot of things I used to do when I was a kid as far as talents. Like, I used to draw. I used to write stories, write poems. I used to run track, sing. I used to do a lot. And be in talent shows a lot. And I would go to these events and go to these competitions and things like that, track meets, whatever situation may be. No one ever showed up to support me. Ever. And that I also internalized because that it was traumatic for me to see my peers and my adversaries having them an entourage in the crowd cheering them on, and then after the competition or whatever is over, I'm hearing them talk to their support group, their support system, and they're saying, oh, you did good, I'm proud of you, you were amazing, keep up the good work, I love you. Taking pictures, smiling, just happy, and I'm sitting there in the corner by myself just watching. And like, damn, like, I don't have not one person here to tell me that they're proud of me, that I did good. And it makes me, it really just makes me feel some type of way. Like, I'm sorry, but it is what it is. And and the worst part about it is, I always gave excuses for people that weren't there. I always try to make it seem like everything, like they had a justifiable reason. Everything was justified. And I always gave people excuses to justify for them not being there to support me. And it is just in all aspects around, from my health situations to things I was passionate about and loved doing. And it's just like, and a lot of that stuff that I loved doing and was passionate about, I did for my family. That my drive and my push was my family. And being the fact that I didn't get that support from them, it died. To the point to where I don't write, I don't draw, I don't run, I don't sing. The last thing I ever did as far as a passion or a skill or a talent was singing. And the last time I really was singing was when I was in a gospel choir in college. We had our anniversary concert around my birthday of 2012. This was like 2 months before I was burned in the grease fire, which caused all of this right here and stuff. But something happened that day, and we had to promote our anniversary concert. So I was putting all over Facebook our flyers and everything, like where it was gonna be held. And so we had a Mount Pisgah Missionary Baptist Church on this date at this time. This is how much the ticket costs. You can buy our album, our CD for this price. Tickets to this price. Constantly shared it, constantly posted it, because we wanted as many people to come out as possible. So I was forever posting it. And when I was in choir and in college back then, I posted a lot of stuff about my choir back then. Like, every time we had a choir rehearsal and we was rehearsing a song, I would go on my choir's Facebook page, and I would post the song from YouTube that we rehearsed, just for anybody who wasn't at rehearsal. Here's a song that we rehearsed tonight. Work on it. Now you got it. You know what, like, you know what the night consists of. You know what rehearsal consists of. So now you don't have to feel left out. So if we do an engagement the following weekend and we sing the song we just rehearsed, you at least know the song. You get what I'm saying. So I was the main one doing a lot of the posting and promoting and things like that, outside of the e-board that was in the choir. But as far as regular choir members, I was the one that was doing most of the posting and promoting and things like that. And when the anniversary concert happened, at the end of the concert, something happened with me. And pretty much, it was a reverend there. His name was Pastor Dion. Shouts out to Pastor Dion if you're watching this in the Dayton area. Pastor Dion stopped me because we were at the end of the concert, and the choir nominated me IHPs, which is the name of our choir, which stands for In His Presence. They dedicated me IHP's most dedicated member, because I went to every rehearsal, I was at every engagement, every event. So they nominated me as IHP's most dedicated member. And after I got my nomination, it came with, a little certificate and a gift card to the Barnes & Noble's bookstore on campus. And I was going back into the choir stands, and Pastor Dion stopped me. And he said, "I feel like God isn't through with you yet." And when I tell you, Pastor Dion pulled out a big wad of money, and he just placed it on top of my head, and I just watched it just fall from in front of my face onto the ground. Like, I had to break down in that moment, because That entire school year, I was having financial issues. I, my schooling was barely getting paid for. I was struggling, paying rent, paying bills, putting food on the table, getting back and forth to school as far as transportation. Like, it was a struggle that year, and I was completely stressed out financially. And in a way, I just feel like my prayers just got answered. And then not only that, but after that situation happened, everybody that was in the church in that moment came to throw money on the stage. And it made me break down to where I just fell to my knees, and I just had my head in my hands, just crying, weeping, because I felt like my prayers have been answered. I've been struggling all school year. I've been missing classes. I've been missing assignments. I've been missing important quizzes. I'm probably about to fail this year. And it's like, I feel like my prayers finally being answered. Like, I can pay bills. I can pay rent. I can put food on the table. I can provide. And it's like, in that moment of vulnerability, in that moment where I needed an embrace and I needed that support from close family members and friends and loved ones, nobody was there. As much promoting as I did, no one showed. Not one person. And at this point, I wasn't surprised, because at this point, nobody ever showed up for anything. And literally, the only thing anyone has ever showed up for that I have done was my dad and my ex-girlfriend. That's one thing I will say about my ex-girlfriend. She did come to a few of our engagements when I was singing in choir. She did. And she came to a few of our rehearsals. And that I will forever be grateful for her for, because she, like, I don't even think she realizes how much that impacted me, because I needed that support system badly. And my dad came to my 6th grade graduation, but at that time my dad had just came into my life. I really didn't know him then. And because of that, and because he was the only one there, I didn't even participate in my high school graduation, because I just had I had this preconceived notion that nobody's going to show. Like, ain't nobody going to show up. So what's the point of paying for a cap and gown and doing all this, and nobody's going to be there? And to hear a lot of other people's names get called, and to hear people cheering and rooting it out in the crowd, and then it's like when my name get called, you just hear a bunch of faint claps, and it's like, I don't want to have to go through that. That's embarrassing. To feel that you never have anybody. Milo, stop. To never feel like you don't have anyone. Like, I don't like that feeling. It's not a good feeling. It's an uncomfortable feeling, and I don't want to wish that feeling on anybody, because you'd be surprised how long of a way just support will go for somebody, and as far as what they're doing and things that they're proud of and their accomplishments, or things that they're aspiring to be or do. Like, a support system is very important. And that goes into feeling left out, feeling neglected, feeling abandoned, feeling forgotten. Because everything that I was passionate about, everything that was important to me, it seemed like no one gave a fuck about. Especially the people that mattered to me. And that's what hurt the most, because the people who mattered to me didn't even show for anything. Now, I can understand if, they couldn't show for this, but they showed for that, and wasn't able to show for this, but showed for that. Then I probably wouldn't have that issue. But when you have multiple things going on, and no one ever shows up for anything throughout your whole entire childhood and going into adulthood, it's kind of like you become numb. And if your family is the reason you're doing it, if your family is your drive, if your family is your motivation, and they're not even there to support you, to cheer you on at least, it kind of dies. Like, it really does. Like, I'm sorry. And it might sound like I'm constantly repeating myself, but like I'm trying to show how this all has a trickle down effect. And to be honest, I still feel alone, even when dealing with my health issues. Like, the only person that has really been there with my health issues was my ex-boyfriend. He came to one doctor's appointment with me, which was my HIV doctor, which, he had a few questions because, we were together and he was negative. So he had questions for the doctor himself. And my mom me with came with me to one of my doctor's appointments with my cancer doctor one time. And that's also where I really got medically, or as far as health wise. Unless I was like really hospitalized, then people would come and see me and come and visit. But as far as just taking me to a doctor's appointment, or if I gotta get this surgery done outpatient, it's like I'm going by my damn self. And it's like I don't have a problem with doing some things alone, but when you feel like you have to do everything alone, and you got family that's right there in your fucking face, it's like when you need them the most, they're not there. It's like it makes you feel like, well, why the fuck are you even like? Why do I even consider you family at this point? Like, I don't even know why I even love you. And that's sad to say, but that's how I honestly feel. I be looking at some family members like, why do I even love you? Like, why do I still care? And it's just to a point to where I'm tired, and it helped trigger my depression in this past month. And also what triggered my depression was this whole discrimination with HIV. It put a damper on my love life, my sex life, and my social life. No one wants anything to do with me because I opened up to a person around May of 2018 and told them my status, thinking that, they were mature enough to handle it. And they went back and gossiped about it, saying that, oh, they didn't say that I have HIV. They said that I had AIDS. And then they put my first and last name out there and said that I'm going around passing it to people. And ever since then, nobody wants anything to do with me. People won't even talk to me online. Do you know how isolating and alienating that feels? To where you can't even feel like you can't even say hello to a person without them blocking you, or saying how disgusted they are because you got AIDS, and how I'm on a list of people to stay away from. It's like, damn, you don't even know me. Like, you really don't even know me, but yet you're sitting here judging me. Because if you really knew me, you would know that I'm not that type of person. You would know some of the things that I have to deal with. But it has come to a point to where I have no social life. I have no love life. And I just feel like I'm living, but I'm not existing. Like, I literally feel like I'm living and not existing because I'm in this house day after day after day. And outside of my friend Alonzo in Virginia and my friend Cece in New York and my cousin that I live with, I really don't have no one to vent to. I really don't have nobody to hang out with when I want to go out and grab a bite to eat, or when I want to go see a game, or go to the movies, or do anything. It's like, if I'm not around my family, I'm not doing anything. And I don't want to have to be around my family 24/7. Or I don't want to have my family feel like in order for me to go out and do stuff, like I have to be with them. And I don't want to have to be up under them and smothering them so much. So like goddamn, I know sometimes they want to hang out with their own friends. They want to be with the person they in a relationship with. Sometimes they don't want me under them all the time, and that's completely understandable. And I don't blame them for that. But it's like it's a lonely, isolating feeling. It makes me feel like I'm literally dying slowly, and I'm dying alone. I don't know. Like I'm done because it's getting to a point to where now I feel like I can't even articulate how I really feel about this topic because I feel like my mind is racing in every direction, and it's like it's so much coming at me, and I feel like I can't really narrow down and articulate what it is I'm actually trying to say. And I feel like I can only give a gist of what I mean, but hopefully you guys get what it is I'm trying to say. Um, Hop down in the comment section and let me know if you guys get where it is I'm coming from or get what it is I'm trying to say. And let me know if you guys have ever been in a situation where you didn't feel like you had a support system, you feel like you didn't have anyone to turn to, or you felt lonely or abandoned or neglected, or you felt like you were left out. Because I know you're not alone. I know I'm not alone in this. And these are the type of conversations that people don't like talking about. And this is why I made this journal entry type series, because this is therapeutic for me. I'm not the type of person that opens up and talks to people. And when I do, it's only to a handful of people. Like I said, I only talk to my best friend in New York, my best friend in Virginia, my cousin that I live with, and our other cousin. I only have 4 people that I could really talk to if I'm like how I'm really feeling right now. I can't talk to any outside of me doing this video. I can't talk to anybody else but those 4 people. In which, yeah, I'm glad that they're there for me to talk to, but at the same time, they can only do so much. Because for one, half of y'all are my family, and the other half of y'all are my friends, but you guys are a distance away. You guys aren't here in the same city and state as me, so it's like I can't just come over your house when I'm feeling lonely or feeling bored or need to vent or need a hug. It's like, and I guess that's what I was trying to look for online, as far as like on Grinder and Jack and Adam and BGC and things like that. It wasn't necessarily to hook up with people or to find a relationship. It was mainly to find friendships, people that I could bond with and go out and have fun with, and become more of a socialite, have more of a social life. Like, even though I don't do clubs and stuff like that, I wouldn't mind going to grab a bite to eat. Hell, we don't even have to go anywhere extravagant. Hell, we could have went to a goddamn Wendy's and sat in a motherfucking parking lot and ate our burgers. Like, just somebody that you can call and be like, hey, you hungry? Like, let's go grab a bite to eat. What you want to eat? Or, oh, you heard about this movie coming out Friday? Oh, yeah, I want to see that motherfucking bad as hell. Like, you want to go see it? Like, just to have somebody to have memories with and to have experiences with. And I feel like I have to do everything alone. And if I'm not doing it alone, I'm doing it with my cousins. And it gets to a point to where I don't want to be in their face all the time. And it kind of makes me feel like I want to, at times, shut down and shut people out. Because it's painful and it's lonely. But I don't know. That's all I got. I feel like right now, I feel like my mind's just all over the place, and I feel like I'm just rambling right now, and I'm trying to get a point across, and I feel like I'm not fully getting it across the way I want to get it across, and I find myself I'm finding myself getting flustered and just a tad bit frustrated because I feel like I'm not articulating the way I want to. So I'm going to end this video here before I end up getting even more flustered and frustrated. But please get down in the comment section and let me know if you guys fully understand or somewhat understand what it is I'm trying to say or where I'm coming from, and if you guys have went through the same thing or if you know someone who's going through the same thing, so we can have an open dialogue and talk about it. And hopefully I'll be able to do more of these videos. And at first I was nervous about doing these videos because I didn't know how it was going to resonate with people. And I'm the type of person to where I feel like in order for me to record a video, I have to be camera ready. Like, I can't be get on camera looking a hot ass mess. Like, but at this time, the way my depression is right now, especially the way it's been these past couple of days, especially, like, I haven't been eating, I haven't been sleeping, and I've been crying a lot. And I'm just to a point to where I need some type of release. And this is my release. So it's just, I know somebody out here is going through some similar shit or the exact same shit, and we need this open conversation. We really do, because these are the type of things that people don't like really talking about or like addressing. And I feel like we need to break that cycle and address these things. So hopefully there will be more videos like this to come. I'm sorry if I look a hot mess right now, if I just look like complete shit. But y'all don't even want to know how my hair look up under this. That's why I got this bonnet on. And I just, like, I know I'm pretty much looking how I feel. Like, I'm looking at myself in the damn camera right now, and I look like I'm going through something. Like, ugh. And usually I would care about how I would look on camera, but right now I don't give two fucks about how I look. I just want to get this point across. I just want to get this out there because I feel like it's important, especially with the death of my cousin the other day. It just made all these things surface because it made me analyze my own life. And I've already been in a depression to where it's like when I got the news of his death, it hit me in a way to where it kind of worsened my depression to where I was having suicidal thoughts and just feeling like I was just, and it kind of still am, like feeling like I'm just tired and just wanting to be over and done with. Like I'm getting tired of suffering, getting tired of going through pain and heartache, and like I just want it all to be over. Like sometimes I wish I could just go to bed and not ever fucking wake up again. And it's sad because I have to find some type of meaning in the day when I wake up in the mornings because I don't want to get up. And even if it's something small as like taking the dog outside to use the bathroom or taking him out for a walk or straightening up the house and getting the kitchen cleaned or cleaning the bathrooms, whatever it is, like I have to make that my inspiration of the day or my motivation of the day or my goal of the day to give my life for that day like some type of purpose and meaning, and just to keep pushing and to keep going and keep moving. And it's like I don't know, I'm done trying to articulate this because it's just like I don't know. Drop down in the comment section, let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And you guys know who the fuck I bees. I'm your boy King Alchemist. Keep me lifted up in y'all's prayers because depression is real. And I wish this feeling on no one. But let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next journal entry video. Peace.